All right. Oh, nice little stain right there. Make sure I'm live real quick. I should be, but no on YouTube. Who knows? How's it going, Danny? Let's go. I am actually live. What's up? Okay, so freaking that's behind that. All right. How's it going, Logan or Han? Game Crusader. What's up, Donovan? Hello, Zoom. All right. So today we're mainly going to be talking about Superman and Nightwing, since those were like the big comics to come out. I'll talk about some other comics as well, and we talk a little non-spoilery about the Snyder Cut as well. But I'm going to be making a video on that and also doing a podcast on that, but we can talk about a little bit of that as well. Let me just put this notification to let everyone know. And I'll show you guys what comics I picked up yesterday. All right. How's it going, Rocky? What's up, FF2? I'm doing good, Rohan. What about you? All right, so here's what I picked up yesterday from my comic shop. I picked up Nightwing number 78, which is the first issue of Tom Taylor taking over Nightwing. So this is a new creative team. We got I can't. Let me see what I want to get the name of the artist. The artist is great. I just don't know his name because I haven't really seen him on much else before. I think I have seen him on some other books, but like not much. It is Bruno Redondo, who's freaking really good. Like, he does a great job. Like, it fits perfectly. Basically, Donovan, that's basically what we're going to be saying today. But yeah, so Superman number 70, Nightwing number 78. We got Superman issue 29, which is the first issue of Philip Kennedy Johnson's run, because, you know, he did Future State, but now we have him on actual Superman. We got Bounty Hunters issue number 10. We got Thor issue 13. And those are all the comics I read, but I got a couple other comics I haven't read yet, like Sweet Tooth issue 5. Now, like I said before, I'm gonna read the Return. I'm gonna read these all at once every issue's out. So we got one more issue. This is 5 of 6, so that's why I haven't read this yet. X-Force I haven't read yet because I'm a couple issues behind. I think 15 was the last issue I read, and we're on 18, so I'm a little bit behind. I need to catch up on that. And same with Star Wars. I'm really behind on Star Wars. Like, issue 12 came out. I still got it, but I haven't read it yet. So let's talk about these comics. How's it going, Rocky? Was great. Yes, Nightwing 78 is freaking amazing. I literally just read it, and it's, like I said in my Discord, it's essentially a perfect comic. Like, it is like as good of a first issue as you can have. It's so good. It even like has a little bit of a, you know, for the main Superman, I don't know. But it even has like some emotional weight to it with like the stuff with Alfred. Because when Alfred died, Dick Grayson was busy being Rick Grayson, being like, I don't care about Alfred. That guy doesn't mean anything to me. He likes his Dick Grayson guy. I'm not Dick Grayson. I'm Rick Grayson. So he didn't really get to like feel the impact of Alfred dying or go through any of that stuff. So in this, we get some flashbacks. We get a really good flashback at the beginning of Dick Grayson fighting, like helping a kid that's getting bullied, him and Barbara. And then he goes home, and of course Bruce ain't there because he's out being Batman, but Alfred's there. And you think Alfred's going to tell him, you know, you can't be beating up these kids even though they're bullies and blah, blah, blah. But no, Alfred tells him he's proud of him. He's like, you know, I'm happy. He's like, Master Bruce believes you should only be a hero when you put the suit on, but I'm happy that you're a hero with or without the suit. And it was a really nice moment between Alfred and Dick. It's like, aw, sucks Alfred's dead, but that was good. And then later we get Nightwing saving a puppy from some people in Bloodhaven, which I thought was a good way to show like the contrast of like they talked about. They're like, he's like Bloodhaven's not as crazy as Gotham, but it's more cruel. And they show that by having just a group of people like punting a puppy up and down like a street in Bloodhaven. And I was like, that's a good way to show like the difference between Bloodhaven. Like, Bloodhaven doesn't necessarily have Joker, but they're just normal people are just way more cruel than Gotham. Thanks, Zane. Yeah, from reading this first issue, you literally don't have to have read anything from Jurgens, like at all. They do make a they do. Tom Taylor's DC stuff has been great, honestly. Like what he did with Deceased and now with Nightwing, Tom Taylor's has been on fire with DC. I hate his Injustice stuff. The stuff that I read from him from Marvel was really bad, but his like main continuity DC stuff is really good. I don't know what it is, but the guy's is like, well, even though DC's Deceased isn't main continuity, but his newer DC stuff is what I should say, non-Injustice stuff. But yeah, it's freaking really good. And then later we get Babs swings by Dick Grayson's apartment to tell him that, hey, you know, you were kind of busy being Rick Grayson when Alfred died, so you didn't get the funeral or like his will or anything. And Alfred left Dick Grayson like a couple $1 billion because Alfred turns out was loaded because when he became the like the legal guardian of Bruce when Bruce died, he got a lot of Wayne Tech stock, and then he was smart with his money over the years, like invested it wisely and all that, and so he became a billionaire. But because he's Alfred, he continued washing dishes and being Bruce's butler and, you know, doing everything that comes with that, and he saved his fortune. And in it, it's a really well written note from Alfred that Tom Taylor did, where he's just talking about how he's like, I think you deserve it the most, I think you will do the best with this money, because he talks essentially like to the character of Dick Grayson. It's a really sweet letter as well. Like I said, this is it's funny, like two of the most emotional moments I can think of that I've like had like emotion from me while reading a comic have come from Tom Taylor in like the past like couple years. One was in Deceased, where if you haven't read Deceased, I won't say what it is, but there's a moment in the first Deceased that is like really sad and really emotional and like well done. And then this with Alfred, like Tom Taylor actually gets like some really good emotional moments, which doesn't always happen in comics. And like those are like, in recent memory, the two most emotional moments I can think about in comics were from Tom Taylor. So what he did with Alfred here was really well. And like you see like Dick Grayson's reading it, and now because he's talking about how money's tight. And it's funny because now I think in current continuity, I think Dick Grayson's richer than Bruce Wayne, because Bruce lost his fortune to the Joker during the Joker War. He's still like a millionaire, but I don't think he's a billionaire anymore. And now Dick Grayson's a billionaire. So Dick Grayson is richer than Bruce Wayne right now, which is kind of funny, and I kind of love it. So I'm interested to see where this goes. The art is fantastic. Like, the art fits the book so well. Tom Taylor killed it. I highly recommend reading this. Like, this was the best comic I've read this week. It's really good. Nightwing 78 is great. Definitely pick it up if you're looking for just a good comic, or if you want Nightwing back. It is hilarious, though. How's it going, Bird of Bloodhaven? Someone asked about Snyder Cut earlier, and I'll talk about it in a bit, but I'm talking about Nightwing right now. But it is hilarious, though, with how every, like, couple years, DC's like, yeah, you know how people like Nightwing? We're just gonna get rid of him and then bring him back and be like, hey, guys, Nightwing's back. Like, they keep doing that. They've done it several times. There's also a funny joke in here. Okay, so the part where those guys are just kicking the puppy up and down the street, Nightwing shows up, and then the guys are like, looks like the party's over or whatever, and they go and they're about to shoot the puppy in the head, and Dick Grayson makes a joke about Rick Grayson. He's like, in my experience, if you shoot the puppy in the head, he's just going to get amnesia and become a cab driver, which is exactly what happened to Dick Grayson when KGB shot him in the head and he got amnesia and then became a cab driver. So that was pretty funny, and I like that Tom Taylor's taking shots there at this dumb thing that DC editorial had Jurgens and company do. It wasn't like that. None of that was Jurgens' fault, or had it wasn't even Jurgens did it. He took over afterwards. But yeah, it was funny. All right, everyone wants to talk about Snyder Cut. So Snyder Cut was actually fun. It's actually a good time, honestly. I won't talk about spoilers, so there you go. But it was fun. Like, I liked it. It was good. I don't want to restore the Snyderverse though, because every time I hear Zack Snyder talk about Superman, it makes me die inside a little bit. So please just don't restore this. Like, if you restore the Snyderverse, I really wish they just put an asterisk on it and be like, he can't touch Superman. Don't let him near Superman. I loved Man of Steel, but I do believe that that's something similar to like, only had 3 legs. I only didn't want to watch, but oh, I didn't notice it had 3 legs now. But I love Man of Steel, but I feel like Zack Snyder was kept on a leash for that one a lot more, and I feel like with the others, they gave him more free will. I always make this comparison to like Burton's Batman movies. Like, I really love, I think Batman 89 is a good movie. I have a lot of fun with it. It's not like traditional comic Batman, but it's a good movie and it's fun. And then Batman Returns is just crazy off, just nuts. I don't like Batman Returns. It's terrible. It's nuts. And I feel like that's similar jump from Man of Steel to Batman v Superman is the same as Batman 89 to Batman Returns. Like, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's kind of on a leash. You got Nolan there kind of watching over things. You got, you know, things are kind of kept in tow. And it's a good movie. I really like it. And then you get Batman v Superman. They're like, wow, Snyder, you made a good movie that made good amounts of money. Do whatever you want for the sequel. And then he just goes haywire and it's terrible. Batman 89, you got like, oh, we're going to keep Burton in check a little bit. We got a good Batman Joker story. And they're like, oh, wow, that was really successful, made a lot of money. Do whatever you want for the sequel. And he's like, okay. And then Catwoman's got 9 lives. Batman's constantly killing her. Penguin's eating people's faces. Flippers. It's just weird. Like, so I really don't, like, as much as I enjoy the Snyder Cut, it's actually, I would highly recommend it if you have a, if you have HBO Max or a friend that has it, or like, or an opportunity to see it. I would recommend seeing it. Like, it's fun. Yeah, it didn't, the pacing was actually surprisingly well done. It didn't feel like a 4-hour movie. I'll be honest, like, even though I did take an intermission halfway through. I took like a 15-minute intermission. Like, we went out and got food and came back. So, but that being said, like, it didn't feel like a long, like, watching Lord of the Rings felt longer than watching the Snyder Cut, to be honest. Like, with how the pacing was, it felt like it was done pretty well, and I enjoyed it. Superman's not in the movie much, but when he is in it, he's cool, but he doesn't really have much to do. Flash is the most 50-50 character, because his characterization is terrible for the most part, but the displaying of his powers is great. Yeah, Snyder Cut continuation comic could be interesting. Man, the thing that sucks is it feels like WB sees Henry Cavill too tied to Snyder to do anything else with him. I really wish they would let Henry Cavill be Superman with someone else, like, holding the reins, you know? New Order and Untouchable are great. I don't like the evil Superman plan by Zack Snyder either. That's why I don't want him to touch the future of DC. Like, I'm glad he got to do the Snyder Cut, but I don't want, like, if he did anything for the future, I would really love him not to touch Superman. Honestly, with how Wonder Woman 1984 turned out, I would be interested to see a Zack Snyder Wonder Woman movie. Honestly, like, his Wonder Woman was pretty cool. Like, his Wonder Woman, I like his Wonder Woman much better than 1984 Wonder Woman. But yeah, it was finished. Snyder Cut was more. It was good, but I think people are overhyping it a bit. I can see that. Like, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it, but I wouldn't say it's like the best movie. I wouldn't say it's as good as like Infinity War. Like, Ian asked me the other day what I'd rate it, and I said probably a 7.5. Is probably what I'd rate it. I'd probably rate it like a 7.5. The best part of the first hour is Steppenwolf just murdering everyone. That's the best part of the first hour. One of my favorite parts is when he's surrounded by all the Amazons, and he takes his axe and he's like, hold on, puts it in the ground, grabs the reins of their horses, and then just whoosh, just slams them. That part was like awesome. And when he's like cutting people in half. I do think it's funny how I was sad when the hot Amazon died, the hot blonde Amazon. I was like, man, if only freaking the queen would have died, that would have been better. Hot Amazon should have lived. Yeah, it didn't feel like 4 hours. But I feel like if you can have someone like, also get Chris Terrio out of there. That's another thing that I'll say. Like, get someone, like, if you can team Snyder up with a good writer and get Chris Terrio out of there. Get him the hell out of there. That guy should not be writing anything ever again. Like, not these big franchises at least. Like, please stop. Why does that guy get to write things still? That's what I'm confused about. Why is Chris Terrio still here writing things? That guy's credits are Batman v Superman, the Rise of Skywalker, and then he helped write the Ben Affleck movie that won an Oscar. And that's his claim to fame, is that. Like how DC anime movies are more faithful to the characters in live action. That's the thing that I think is funny. I actually got tagged in a tweet. I didn't tweet back at it, but someone was like watching the DC. They're like watching Superman the animated series because it's more faithful in the Snyder Cut or whatever. It's like, yeah, and that Superman gets cucked by Bruce as well, which is what Snyder's plan was. Snyder's actually very inspired by the animated movies and stuff. That's why I'm 100% sure that's why he said he likes Jon Stewart better than any other Green Lantern. It's because the animated show. I watched Superman Man of Tomorrow. I did a video on it. Man of Tomorrow is pretty good. But yeah, Snyder Cut's good. I'm going to do a video on it, and I will also do a podcast on it, which there should be a link in the description to my podcast if you want to check that out. But me and Ian will do a podcast. So I'll do like a video like discussing it, because I know not everyone's going to check out the podcast. And then I'll also do a podcast, like a longer form with me and Ian talking and riffing a bit about it. But yeah. I have not watched the Deathstroke movie, because is it on HBO Max? I can't remember. I feel like I asked about this before. If it's on HBO Max, then I might end up watching it if it's on there. If I have to pay for it, I'm probably never going to watch it. And as far as Superman and Lois, I've decided that I will watch that once all the episodes are out. Once the season ends, I'll watch Superman and Lois. But I'm going to wait. I don't want to, like, watch, like, 4 or 5 episodes and have to wait. And, like, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to wait. Once all the Superman and Lois episodes are out, I'll watch it. Christopher McQuarrie should direct the next Man of Steel, but he's not going to. It is on HBO? Okay, then I'll probably end up watching it. Okay, I'll probably end up watching the Deathstroke movie then, since it's on HBO Max. Yeah, we're about to get into Superman by Philip Kennedy Johnson. But Christopher McQuarrie pitched a Man of Steel sequel with Henry Cavill. And was like, and WB said no, he also pitched a Green Lantern movie, but he sounds fed up with WB and he's not going to do any superhero movies because they just turned him down. It's like, why? Why would you do that? Come on. Like, that sounds such like a match made in heaven. Henry Cavill with Christopher McQuarrie making a Man of Steel sequel. Come on, WB. There wasn't much Deathstroke in the Snyder Cut, but I didn't expect there to be. I was hoping he had, like, something to do. He has nothing to do in the movie, sadly. He just sits there and looks cool for, like, 2 seconds. Darkseid was alright, but Darkseid's, like, not in the movie, like, at all. I will say, Desaad had a really cool voice. Whoever voiced Desaad, coolest voice. Because, freaking, what's it called? What am I saying? What was I thinking? Steppenwolf's voice is, like, you have to pay attention a lot to understand what Steppenwolf's saying. Like, it's kind of the same vein as Bane. You know how, like, you can understand Tom Hardy's Bane, but you have to pay attention? And freaking same with Steppenwolf. It's like, you can understand what he's saying, but you gotta pay attention because, like, how his voice is. The thread of Zach saying which are the two. Yeah, I watched, I saw some of that thread, like an IGN thread or whatever of which Snyder runs. What was the screen in the movie? Squished and not full screen? Because he wanted to do an aspect ratio for IMAX, even though it's not being released in theaters. So I don't know. How do you feel about J.J. Abrams' reboot of Superman? Everything about it sounds awful. Ta-Nehisi Coates is gonna be involved, and I don't think he's gonna do a good job, and Abrams is producing, and I don't think he's gonna do a good job. It sounds terrible, but at least it's not Clark Kent, so they're just gonna, it's so weird, but they're not using any of the Black Superman from the comics either. They're creating a whole new one, which is, like, fine, but why wouldn't you take one, like, why even take the Superman name? Like, this sounds so weird. Like, hey, we're gonna create a Superman movie that has absolutely nothing to do with any Superman that's ever appeared in the comics. It's like, why? What? Why do a Hancock sequel? Like, I don't understand. Like, that's what's weird. Like, I don't get it. You excited for Superman Red and Blue? No, because when it was, like, it's already come out, I think, or like the first or second issue. But when it was announced, I was like, ooh, new Superman series, and I saw the creative teams, and I was like, this is terrible. Yeah, take over time to kill Dick off screen for VS. Well, he also said Superman over Batman, but then he wanted Superman to get cucked by Bruce and to raise Bruce's child. So I don't think Snyder's incredibly honest on those answers. But yeah, so we can move on to the next issue, which is Superman issue 29. That's what we're on, issue 29. This was an okay issue. Like, it felt really short because it has that backup story. I didn't read the backup story because I don't care. Like, also featuring Tales of Metropolis by some creative team, I don't know. But essentially, there's, like, some breach in, like, the universe where, like, some creatures are coming through, and the radiation for the creatures hurts Superman, but not his son, not John. He also said he likes Lex more than Joker. Yeah, and his Lex is awful. Thank God there wasn't much Jesse Eisenberg's Lex in the Snyder Cut, because he is so bad. When the 2 seconds he's on screen, when he calls Deathstroke good boy, I was like, what? Deathstroke should kill him for that. Like, just murder him. He's like, good boy. I was like, what the, what? Deathstroke, shoot him in the face, cut his head off. But anyways. He's so bad. Like, so I didn't read the Metropolis part either. I didn't read the backup story. But the main story felt kind of short. And it's essentially like there's a breach in the universe where there's like these aliens start coming through, and again the radiation hurts Superman but not John, and Amanda Waller's like behind the breach, like she first opened it up. I guess it's with Star Labs. I believe this is Star Labs or Cadmus, I can't remember. But anyways, after that Superman's like, yeah, we did that, we closed that breach and it's never gonna open again. Then John's like, Dad, I was in the future and you died to the next breach. And Clark's like, what? And that's basically where the issue ends. It was kind of weird because like, why would, it's really irresponsible for the Legion of Superheroes to take John into the future and then tell him how his dad dies? Like, what? Why did the Legion of Superheroes do that? You think they do everything they can to keep him away from that information, like, but no, they let him know how his dad died, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Slade's vendetta against Batman either. I 100% agree, Danny. Like, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Like, that's the thing. This is where you introduce Green Arrow. Because Green Arrow is who he's had a vendetta against because of Identity Crisis. And man, dude, that's where you introduce, like, Slade. I hate all of them. They're always trying to, like, start a rivalry between Batman and Deathstroke. No, between Batman and Deathstroke are just people who occasionally one of them gets in the other's way. There's no, like, personal vendetta. They tried to make it like, oh, Damian might be Slade's son, so they're clashing, or like, who's the, like, no, his rivalries are with Dick Grayson and Green Arrow. It's not with Batman, but they've always tried to make it with Batman. Like, it's dumb. It's just occasionally their paths will cross and they'll butt heads. That should be it. It shouldn't be there's a huge rivalry between the two of them, because that rival would be over in 2 seconds. Deathstroke is better than Batman every way, and that's just facts. That's just how it is. Sorry. There's literally, like, to me it takes away from Batman if Batman can absolutely decimate people with, like, powers like Deathstroke. Because Deathstroke is essentially a similar fighter to Batman, but enhanced. So if Batman can beat him, it literally makes no sense. It takes away from Batman being a man, you know? Like, that's the thing with Deathstroke. He is something more. He's not just a man like Batman. But then they have... It's so still. That one Green Lantern got freaking wrecked, though. Yeah, Bendis Superman was terrible. I didn't read Legion because I assumed it was awful. Like, Batman doesn't have enough rivals, exactly. But Superman 29, I wouldn't say it's really, like, you don't need to pick it up. It's nothing that great. It did feel really short. I don't know how many pages the actual freaking main story was. I haven't looked. Let's see on Comixology. Page count, 33 pages. And how many pages is the backup story? Let's see, how many pages is the backup story? We're gonna do some counting here. 1, 2, okay, let's see. Alright, so it was like the size of it. It was like a normal sized comic. I don't know why it felt so short. Maybe it's because, like, everything was all about that breach. I do like how Martian Manhunter does literally nothing, though. He just sits by the side. He's like, now that you guys took care of this threat that was potentially going to kill us all, I am here. It's like, okay, bro. Yeah, that's the new thing after Future State is backup stories in, like, the big books. Like, Superman's going to have it. I don't know if Action Comics is going to have it. I think Batman or Detective Comics is going to have it. I think Wonder Woman might have it. Like the big books are the ones that are going to have it, and they're $5 because of that. They're $5 for a story no one asked for. Yeah, freaking $5. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so it's dumb. It's so dumb. Why does Waller care about the Superman family? I don't know. She's fat again, at least. Like, they always go back and forth between fat and skinny Waller. Fat Waller, best Waller. But yeah, we talk about the new issue of Thor. It was good, but they kind of like, so everyone, like, Odin comes back and everyone just everyone just teams up against Donald Blake, because in the storyline Donald Blake's been like hunting people with the Odin Force and killing them, and now he's at the Life Tree, and now everyone teams up to take him on. You've read Secret Origin? Literally just read the entirety of Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern. That's what you need to read. It's great. Did you catch Lois being pregnant at the end of the Snyder Cut? No. All I saw was the pregnancy test. Like in her freaking, what's it called? In her drawer. They might be pushing the prices up to $6. Yeah, I saw about that. If they do that, it's gonna be so ridiculous. Like, these backup stories are dumb. But yeah, so the new issue Thor, it's literally just like getting Odin and then getting Thor out of because Thor's still stuck in that one dimension that Donald Blake is normally in, and he uses his ravens to like get his soul out of that dimension, and he takes on like possesses the what's the name of that big robot thing that shows up at the end of the first Thor movie? I don't remember what it's called. Again, I'm not like super familiar with Thor. This is the only Thor run I've read. But he takes over that, and he's going to fight Donald Blake in the next issue. Donald Blake kind of gets his ass kicked a bit in this issue, which he's been badass throughout this entire storyline so far. So I'm hoping that they let him do more cool stuff, you know? Like, in the next issue, I hope him and Thor have a cool battle, because in this one, he kind of just got his ass kicked. I like the Snyder Cut, Vasile. They could potentially save this Snyderverse because of how big of a success this is and how much buzz it's gotten. I kind of hope it doesn't, because I don't want to see Snyder continue with Superman. Even though I enjoyed the Snyder Cut, I don't want to see what he does with Superman, because it's just going to be more evil Superman, and it's going to be... I don't want that. Like, I've seen enough evil Superman, like, for a lifetime. I don't need to see any, especially with Henry Cavill. Like, just let Henry Cavill be Superman, please. He's the perfect Superman, and we've only got one good outing with him as Superman. Like, come on! Thor's definitely worth catching up on, Logan. It's really good. Issue 13 wasn't anything amazing. It was kind of more set up for the final, because it's a 6-issue storyline, and this is the part 5. So, issue 13 was kind of just setting up the finale. But, yeah, Thor's been really solid. It's been really good. And then the other comic I read, these 3 I haven't read yet, was Bounty Hunters, which Bounty Hunters is severely underrated. Like, if you're looking for good Star Wars content, freaking Bounty Hunters is great. This could be a show on Disney+. I love Valance. He's so cool. He's literally Space Jonah Hex, and I love it. And this one, he's on a ship taking out, you know, what's his name? Tanaka, I think, was the name of the pirate leader in the Clone Wars. Like, his guild of pirates are here, and they're like taking over a ship that Valance is on, and he just like from the shadows just Sam Fishers all these pirates, and it's badass, and it's really cool, and just yeah, so it's really good. Freaking Bounty Hunters is, if you're looking for good Star Wars content, it's highly recommended. And it looks like next he's going to be going after Bosk, but also might get involved with Han, because Valance and Han have history. Because Han saved Valance when they were both in the they're both in the Imperial like Air Force or whatever. They were both part of the Empire and flew TIE fighters and stuff. And so there was a time when Valance like got crashed behind enemy lines, and Han was the only one that showed up to save him. Snow Angels by Jeff Lemire. I have not, but I'll read anything by Jeff Lemire. Yeah, and I'm really happy that Snyder got to finish his cut. Like, that's the thing. Like, to me, it like fair play to WB if they wanted to be after Batman v Superman. If they're like, okay, we didn't like Batman v Superman, you're not gonna make Justice League. But to let him get partway through Justice League and then fight him on it and be like, no, we're gonna bring in a new guy. You go like screw off and stuff, and like fighting him on everything. That's dumb. And I'm glad he got to finish his cut. That's like WB had every right to be like, hey, we didn't like Batman v Superman, we're not gonna let you make your movie. But to let him start making it and then give him problems, that's where I was like, even though I didn't like Batman v Superman and I wasn't necessarily looking forward to Justice League too much, that's like dumb. Like, and so I'm really happy he got to make his movie and get his vision out there. And Justice League is a good movie. Like, it's legitimately fun. Like, some of the best parts of that movie involve Flash using his powers. Like, the way they display Flash movies using his powers is really good. And it's surprisingly something we haven't seen before, because how many times have we seen super speed on the big screen now? Like, we had the X-Men movies with Quicksilver, we had Quicksilver show up in the Avengers movies, we had Flash in the CW show, and Zack Snyder still does something unique with displaying Flash's powers in the Snyder Cut. Like, that's amazing, because we've seen super speed displayed so many times, but not like this, and it's done really well. Yeah, Williamson's solid, and I'm excited for his run with Damian. I'm really excited to see what Williamson does. He's been so consistent. What do you think about the DC Pride event variant covers things? I haven't really paid attention much to it. It's whatever. Like, everyone just cashes it on Pride. Just like for a month, companies that do not give a crap about gay people put rainbows on everything because they're trying to make money. It's hilarious because it's all just like, hey, yeah, we totally care. That's why we put this thing on there. It's like same with like Breast Cancer Awareness Month. They're like, hey, we're putting a pink ribbon on our bottle because we really care about people with breast cancer. No, you don't. You're just doing it to make money. That's all it is. Same thing with DC and their Pride thing. They're like, we care. No, you don't. You're just doing this to make money. Don't act like you care. It's like, you're a big company that's just trying to make money. So I don't really care. Like, it's whatever. No one's forcing me to buy that book or that cover. Barry Wiener Allen. Yeah, with the hot dog. That, Barry... Okay, let's talk about Barry for a second. So Barry's powers are really cool, like, in the movie, like I was saying. But his introductory scene is so awful and cringy. When he shows up, I'm like, just shut up. I hate Ezra Miller show up so much. Just shut up, please. Because he's just quipping constantly, and none of it's funny. It's not like funny quips. It's just the worst. And and then he starts using his powers, and it's cool. Like, he's in civilian clothing and everything, but he needs to use his powers to save Iris, because it's the scene from the trailer. Not a spoiler, it's the scene from the trailer. And his shoes explode as soon as he moves. And I thought that was really cool. And then he just goes through the glass, and like, it's like, man, this is awesome. And then he starts quipping again, and it's like, oh, just shut up. But then he has some great moments with his dad. Like, his scenes in the prison with his dad are great. And I'm like, that's more Barry. But then he starts quipping, and it's like, it's... Like I said before, I think that, I do think that Snyder is very much inspired by the animated movies and TV shows. I think he very much is. And so I think he watched the Justice League TV show and saw Wally in that and how funny he was, and was like, that's Barry Allen. It's like, no, that's Wally. And also, even Wally doesn't act like this. He does remind me, he's like Wally turned to 11. Like, he's like, not even Wally is this quippy and like, nah, but yeah, he is much more like Wally than Barry. But the scenes with his dad are great, and Barry did get, and that scene at the end with the thing that he does, I won't spoil, like, is great. Like, Barry gets better, like, the more you get in the movie, the better Barry gets, but at first, he is unbearable. He's so annoying. The one thing I did like with him as far as, like, the jokes went was Batman is having trouble getting anyone to join the Justice League. Like, he tries to recruit Aquaman. Aquaman tells him to screw off, essentially. And, like, they're having trouble, and Cyborg kind of does the same thing to Wonder Woman, and they're like, ugh. But then he goes to Flash, and, like, as soon as he tells him what's going on, Flash is like, I'm in. He's like, wait, what? Like, that was actually, that was one of the best, like, sort of comedic moments of the movie, because there's not a whole lot of, comedy in the movie, but a lot of it that is in there doesn't go too well. But that moment was actually good, because Flash is like, I'm in. Immediately. And Batman's like, okay, everyone else told me to screw up. I gave you, like, one detail, and you're good. We're gonna tell him Craig. Yeah, he talks about, but his powers were done really well, and it still makes me sad, though, that we're getting a Flashpoint movie and not, like, an actual Flash movie. Like, why couldn't we get a Flash movie? Why are we getting Flashpoint with the first time we actually see him? Doom Eternal's second DLC is crazy good. I need to play it. I didn't beat the first DLC. I played a little bit of the first DLC, then I got, like, sidetracked with other stuff, and I haven't beat the first DLC. I beat Doom Eternal, like, the day it came out, but I haven't beat, the DLC yet. Well, I didn't mind Ezra's Flash in the Snyder Cut. But Barry is good most of the times from him. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Flash provides, like, 90% of the comedy, and it's pretty bad. But yeah, like, Ezra just there's like two good things with it, like that one scene, and then the scene that was in the original Justice League, which is still good, is when Superman's taking on the Justice League and Flash comes up, and, you know, he's circling around Superman, and Superman's eye starts tracking him, and he's like, this guy can see me, no one can see me. That part was good. Like, his face, like Barry's face, but he's like, oh no. Like, that part was actually funny. But that was in the Joss cut as well. They're trying to set a reset of the initial Snyderverse, perhaps. Yeah, most likely. But it's still like, it sucks because a whole lot of people did not see Justice League. I have no clue how many people have seen Snyder Cut. So a lot of people, their first introduction to the Flash is going to be this Flash movie, and it's going to be Flashpoint. And it's like, why are you doing this, you know? Like, give us an actual Flash movie. Yeah, exactly. But they use the... Exactly. There's so many, like, good Flash stories they could borrow from, but instead they're like, we're going to do Flashpoint. Yeah, like the way he like freaking flips, like it's like Ezra Miller's never run before. Also, you know who else has a terrible run? The actress that played Queen Hippolyta, or however you pronounce her name, the freaking the Amazonian queen. When she's running, her run is terrible. Like when she was running with the mother bots, I was like, this lady has not run in 30 years. We need a good representation of the rogues. I agree. The rogues are awesome, and hopefully we can get a cool Captain Cold. Obviously, we're going to get Reverse Flash. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to get Reverse Flash. But I mean, of course, the Flashpoint we're going to. I wonder who they're going to get. I know it feels like just randomly, like once every 3 months, we get just some random ass Flash casting. You know, they're like, hey, this person's like Supergirl's the Flash movie is played by this person. It's like, that came out of nowhere, but okay. The Flashies. But yeah, the Snyder Cut, I was surprised because anyone that's been around my channel knows that I thought the Snyder Cut was going to be a complete mess. And it was surprisingly good. Like, I liked it. Like, it was actually a good movie. And like, the effects were so much better. It actually looked like a finished movie. Unlike like the Joss cut, like some of the effects and the color grading was awful in that. Like, it looked so bad, but in this everything looked pretty good. How's it going, Daniel? But there were some things where like CGI looked a little rough, but for the most part it looked pretty good. Like Steppenwolf, the quality of Steppenwolf CGI was really good. His design is still ass. Steppenwolf's design is awful. He looks so dumb. Oh my goodness, like that, just the giant freaking like gray silver CGI mess with weird ass freaking horns. And it's like, he looks awful, but the quality of the CGI is good. It's just his design is terrible. And it's no, Ian liked it too. Ian surprisingly liked it. Thank God, I tweeted this out during it. Thank God James Wan got rid of the air bubbles for the Atlanteans, because that'd be so annoying if every time they had to talk they had to use an air bubble. Also, does anyone know why Mara was British? The woman singing for Aquaman? Are you talking about the woman singing for Wonder Woman? What do you mean woman singing for Aquaman? Are you talking about the woman singing for Wonder Woman every time she showed up? Like, that track is good, it was just overused. Because it's a 4-hour movie, and literally every single time Wonder Woman shows up, that theme is played. Just a woman starts screaming, and it's like, this is a cool track, but you've played it 500 times. Like, I love the John Williams Superman theme, but if every time Superman showed up, it was like, da, 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 and he showed up, like, 20 times in a 4-hour movie, I'd be like, okay, please, this is a lot. Darkseid voice sounded very similar to Steppenwolf's. I thought Desaad had the coolest voice. Desaad's voice was awesome. I think any design for Steppenwolf's better than what we got in the movie, but I personally think if you want to like sort of modernize it, I think the New 52 design's good. Like the red and black sort of freaking Viking pirate looking dude, I think that looks cool. He wanted the Atlantean royalty hat to be British? Why would Atlantean royalty be British? But also, freaking Willem Dafoe didn't have a British accent, I don't think, did he? And was he supposed to be like kind of royalty? I don't know. Also, she said her dad was dead, but her dad's in the Aquaman movie, which takes place after Justice League. So I'm confused by that. Every time she showed up in the movie, I had to get... Like, literally, even, like, scenes when Wonder Woman would show up for, like, 5 seconds, they would play that theme for 5 seconds and then stop. They'd be like, oh, Wonder Woman's here. I'd be like, oh, like, the woman freaking screaming, and then it would stop. It would be like, did you really have to there? Come on. Desaad's voice was great. I thought I thought Darkseid's design's all right, but he needs more blue. Like the blue, it's so dark. Like it looks black, but it might be just an incredibly dark blue. But he needs more blue. Like it needs to. That part where Mara starts ripping the blood out of Steppenwolf's face was awesome, though. That was sick. That was so cool. She starts bloodbending him. Her retcons, yeah. That would be hilarious though, if like freaking in Snyder's Atlantis, all the royalty is British and everyone else just has an American accent. It's like, well, I thought the British accent sounded fancy, so they should be royal. Very funny, but man, I can't wait for Aquaman 2 though. Aquaman's still my second favorite DCU movie. I freaking I ranked all the DCU movies on Twitter. Bring that up. There we go. Whoops. Yeah. So here's how I rank the DCU movies, if anyone's wondering, after watching the Snyder Cut. He does have blue, so it's just the filter. Yeah, it's way too dark. Like, make the blue a little more blue, a little brighter. Yeah, the Wonder Woman theme was overused in Batman Superman, but it was good. Like, I love that. Between Darkseid. The flashback fight was kind of cool, but it felt like it lasted too short and like they defeated Darkseid way too easily. You know? Like, that was the thing about that. Like, that wasn't as cool as I thought it was going to be, because I was really looking forward to that from the trailers. I was like, man, I can't wait to see that, but then Darkseid kind of gets defeated in like 2 seconds, and like 1984 over BVS. Honestly, they're kind of interchangeable. It's just Batman v Superman drags so much and is so bad, and you have Lex. Ugh. Yeah, exactly. Wonder Woman Lex to a seeing woman. Oh, yeah, it sucks that the universe Deathstroke is connected to League of Assassins. I tweeted about that as well. When I talked about Gotham Knights getting delayed, that's freaking hilarious.
I wanted to say hi to the stream.
Yeah, right here.
I don't want to say hi to the stream.
Okay.
Say hi to everybody.
But see here.
Say hi to everyone. Yeah.
I want to say hi to Shadow.
And just for the record, everyone makes fun of me falling asleep. Dylan fell asleep during Snyder Cut. I didn't. I stayed up the whole. I had to wake his ass up.
The first
I had to wake his ass up.
Scene. It was during the first air bubble scene. It was very boring. Aquaman and Mara were talking about something, and I was just like, "This is."
I was gonna tweet out the picture. We went to Star Wars Con. I drove, and you were passed out on the passenger. I was gonna say, "This is Dylan during the Snyder Cut." You passed out.
The Ultimate Edition is better, but still not good. The Ultimate Edition is still bad, but yeah. So this is again where I was saying that Snyder is definitely inspired by the animated movies, because he has, like, he's connected to Ra's al Ghul in the League of Assassins with his sword, which was never a thing in the comics. It's only in those dumb Damian New 52 movies. So, and that's why I was saying, like, they're taking inspiration from one of the worst versions of Deathstroke. But yeah, the Ultimate Edition is still not good. It's better than the theatrical version, but still bad. Who's worse, Suicide Squad, Joker, or BVS Lex? BVS Lex by a mile. Way worse. Like, way worse. Well, we are getting a movie about the New Gods, apparently. But yeah, so Man of Steel is obviously my favorite. I love Man of Steel. I think it's great. I really love Aquaman as well. Like, Aquaman's cheesy and fun, and like, I love it, honestly. Like, I know the cheesiness kind of bothers some people, but I didn't care. I love Aquaman. Snyder Cut, like I said, I had a lot of fun with Snyder Cut. It was good. It was fun time. Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman was good. The third act is terrible, and there's some bad CGI in the movie, like really bad CGI in the first Wonder Woman. There's also an overuse of slow-mo. There's an overuse of slow-mo in the Snyder Cut as well. Like, a lot of slow, which, that's like a thing Snyder was known for. Oh, let me go to, this is sorry, that reset. But Snyder was always known for like using slow-mo, but in his DC movies he didn't really use it until just the Snyder cut, and then he just used it so much. I do feel like it was way overused. But same with Wonder Woman. Then Shazam, I liked Shazam. It was good, but it wasn't amazing. But it was fun. I liked it. Wonder Woman 1984 is terrible. It's awful. I really do not like Wonder Woman 1984. Like, it's really bad. Batman v Superman is awful as well. It's really bad. What they do, the back steps that Superman as a character takes from freaking from Man of Steel to Batman v Superman is awful. Wonder Woman 1984 worse than BVS? It could be. Honestly, they're kind of interchangeable for me. I haven't seen BVS in so long. It's just BVS, if from what I remember, felt like more of a drag, and also it ruined Superman so much in that movie. And I care way more about Superman than Wonder Woman. So, it's so bad. It's so bad. They're both terrible movies. They're kind of on the same playing field, to be honest. It's just Batman v Superman felt longer. And Batman Snyder Cut be an hour short without slow-mo. Yep, exactly. Like, there's so much. And then Suicide Squad is like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Like, it's unbelievably bad. Like, the Suicide Squad. And like I said, I haven't seen Birds of Prey. But Suicide Squad is unbelievably bad. Like, I can't believe it's that bad. See you, Tevya. Thanks for stopping by the stream, man. Everything just learns out of nowhere. Yeah, I know. We just get to that one track. He didn't want Deathstroke to be Super Soldier. What? He didn't want him to be enhanced? Did he say that? Big gap between Shazam and Wonder Woman 1984. Then yes, big gap. Because every movie until here is good. So 1 through 5, I all enjoy. I think they're all good movies. I think Aquaman, Man of Steel are the only movies that are like great in my opinion. But these are good. Great. Good. Terrible. And that's how I break down the list. I like the Joker and Snyder Cut. I won't say much because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but that scene in the nightmare sequence between Batman and Joker is really good. And it's actually, I liked it a lot. Should I fight with Batman, which I preferred over one of it, so I guess I prefer they're both bad though, yeah. At least I had the warehouse fight scene, but aside from the warehouse fight scene, it's hard to say anything in Batman v Superman that's like that good. Like, it's all so bad. Like, the freaking opening, Jimmy Olsen gets executed and then Superman murders the guy that holds Lois hostage. When he was supposed to have, like, such a crisis of conscience for killing Zod in the last movie, he opens up by murdering the guy that's holding Lois hostage in the second movie. It's like, what? How do you not like a single part of the DCEU, Soundwave? Yeah, remember the Nightwing movie that was going to come from the guy that directed the Lego Batman movie? That's definitely still happening. 100%. I don't think we're going to get a lot of Ayer cut people, honestly. I don't think there's enough people that care for, like, an Ayer cut. So, I don't think we're getting an Ayer cut or anything like that. I don't think that makes near enough noise. Like, Snyder has so many people that were, like, just constantly on. They even, like, paid for, like, that big banner billboard or whatever. He didn't kill the guy. I know they said he didn't kill the guy, but if you watch it in slow motion, he does not turn his back. The guy goes straight through the wall. That guy's dead. It's like in the Arkham games when Batman crushes a guy's throat with a car door. It's like, he's alive. No, he's not. Same within Batman v Superman. Superman at, like, supersonic speeds crushes a guy through a wall and they're like, he's fine. No, he's not. That guy's dead. Yes, I put Geiger on my pull list. Yeah, agreed. Lois kind of didn't have anything to do in the movie, like, at all. She's just kind of there until she was there to calm Superman down, and they did just keep cutting to her and, like, Martha randomly, and they're like, look at them being sad that Clark is dead. It's like, those scenes were supposed to be her and Bruce boning is what Snyder wanted, but WB said no. He's like, okay, so we have Steppenwolf killing the Amazons, and then we cut to Lois and Bruce boning, but Lois is sad while they're doing it because Clark's dead, but she's also really enjoying it because Bruce is doing her good. And then WB's just like, what, Zach, what are you talking about? He's like, we'll talk about this tomorrow. Yeah, he's not dead on a technicality. So they're like, Clark straight up murders that guy in the beginning of Batman Superman, even though they say he's technically not dead. Like, he killed that guy. That guy just no longer living. But I just really want a Man of Steel sequel. That part, when Clark is going through the ship and they're playing the audio clips from Man of Steel, that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I was like, oh, just give me a Man of Steel sequel. Man of Steel's so good, and Henry Cavill deserves to be actual Superman, not freaking Injustice evil Superman. And I hate this. Oh my goodness, I hate so much the idiots like Snyder who believe that without Lois, Superman couldn't do anything. It's not like he was saving people before he knew Lois. It's all because of Lois is why Superman does anything. If she dies, he'd go big dumb ape brain and kill everyone and become dictator. That's Superman. It's all Lois. Lois is the heart of everything with Superman. It's like, no, that's not it, you idiots. That, like, freaking, if I was able to write an Elseworlds Superman story, I would seriously consider, like, if it was an Elseworlds Superman story, doing one where Lois dies and Superman just continues on being Superman. Like, obviously struggling, but just to show, be like, hey, it's not because of, like, he doesn't just lose it because Lois dies, you idiots. Man of Steel's dialogue's fine. Batman Superman's awful. Wonder Woman's third act is terrible, I agree there. The Justice League is really bad. How long after BVS does Justice League take place? I don't know. I honestly have no clue. What DC movie am I looking forward to? Aquaman 2. I can't wait. I want to see Nightmare Superman. Yeah, exactly. I really don't want to see Nightmare Superman. And we've gotten so much of that, DC. Yeah, exactly. Reed ending battle. Exactly. For what Logan's referencing, it's at the end of ending battle, Manchester Black puts an image into Superman's head, making him believe that Manchester Black just murdered Lois. And Superman thinks about just taking Manchester Black and turning him into dust, but he doesn't, because he's like, Lois wouldn't want me to do that. He's like, that would defeat the purpose. He's like, I'm not going to do that. And it turns out Lois is actually alive and fine. But that moment's great, because it shows that, you know, it's not like Lois is just like his conscience. Like, without Lois, he couldn't do anything. It also is funny because it's in the trailer as well, so this isn't a spoiler. But the Mother Boxes call out to Apocalypse and all of them to let them know that Krypton's the Kryptonian's dead, that Superman's dead. But it's like, what were they doing like the 33 years prior to Superman arriving on Earth? Because, you know, in Man of Steel, he's 33 years old. So like, and Batman Superman, I don't know how old is he, like 34, 35, whatever. Like, so like 40 years prior, what the hell were they doing? There was no Kryptonian there. Well, what were the Mother Boxes doing? They're like, hey, we're just gonna chill here and not give out it. And then Superman dies. And they're like, okay, he's gone. It's like, why didn't you just send a freaking message before Superman showed up? Yeah, the Atom being there was useless. Like, it was just like, hey, Ryan Choi's here. I have not seen the Donner Cut Superman 2. Well, we're getting the Green Lantern like HBO Max show, I think, and then we might be getting our Green Lantern's movie as well. I have no clue about all that, dude. Like, we're getting something. I don't know what, but we're getting something. Boom, boom. What comics come out this week? Let's see. This is this week, right? Yeah, this is this week. What comes out next week? Next week, here we go. Batman, Superman, which I don't care anymore because Williamson's off that book. Action Comics, okay. So I'll be picking up Action Comics. That's it. I'm picking up Action Comics from DC. I'm still really excited for the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. Like, I love Ben Affleck as Batman, and he has the best live-action Batsuit. No contest, not even close. But I'm still excited for, like, that trailer for the Batman. It's freaking amazing. Shouldn't have been surprised by. I agree, Luke. Yeah, I thought the Snyder Cut was cool, but I don't want to see it continued. I heard Bendis' Justice League was awful. Like, I've heard a couple people talking about it. I heard it's terrible. So, surprise, surprise, Bendis writes another terrible comic book. Who would have thought? Let's see about Marvel. Let's see. What's next week? Marvel's comics page is so bad. Like, let me see next week's comics. So dumb. Oh, release calendar. Alright. Let's see this. Come on, let's see. Oh, this is it? That's all that comes out? Okay. There's no way it's just... that three... Is that really it? Well, we got Alien. This is from Philip Kennedy Johnson. I might pick that up. I don't care about anything else. Philip Kennedy Johnson's doing the new Alien book. Oh, that's cover artist. It's funny. I saw the saw an ad in what was it, in Thor for Guardians of the Galaxy book, and they had Brett Booth's art. And I was like, oh, Brett Booth's gonna be on a what's it called, on a Guardians of the Galaxy book, and then it was like Brett Booth on covers and someone else on inks. It's like, oh, this isn't the guy that does the sort of photorealistic stuff for Star Wars. His art's alright. I'm interested to see what he does with Alien. His art looks alright. I'm interested to see how he does with Alien. I'd be down for Affleck to have his own Batman series on HBO. I don't think Affleck really wants to play Batman anymore, though. I think the bat symbol's fine, honestly. Yeah, I read some issues of Batman Universe. Actually good. Yeah, I already talked about Snyder Cut. We've been talking about it, and I'll make a video on a podcast on it as well. But I enjoyed it. I like the Snyder Cut. Yeah, I heard Bendis is doing a sequel to Leviathan, which is hilarious because no one wants that. I haven't really seen many people defend Bendis. Well, like fans at least. You have writers and stuff that'll do it, but fans I don't really. Underline my opinion. I wish we get an actual Green Arrow book. Marvel can't be just released. I know, like, but that's what their site says. So I doubt they're releasing just 3 books. Their site is dumb. It's always been bad. So I said that Justice League 3 would be very much a sequel movie, Superman movie, a sequel to Man of Steel. I didn't see that. I saw him saying stuff about how Bruce's son with Lois would become Batman. Saw that. Maybe pull up this right there. Let's see. So it becomes the Superman we all love in the comics, but I have yet to see how it becomes that man. His psyche is so dependent on Lois. Exactly. Like, it's so dependent on Lois, it's dumb. But that's because Snyder pulls from, like, the other media, like Injustice. Like, that's how people see it. Like, read the comics, please. Just read the latest issue. I just got the newest volume of Zdarsky's Daredevil. I haven't read it yet. I read like the first issue, but I need to sit down and read it all. I just got this like a week ago. I haven't read it yet, but I need to. I wish Superman was mentored to the Shazam family in the movies. That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool to see him mentor the Shazam family in the movies. Well, I think if I actually defend this as any story. Well, Bendis used to do some stuff back in the day that's good. Like his Daredevil run's good. But again, freaking something about the aura of Daredevil, you just write good. Bendis, well, I mean, there are obviously good writers that have good runs on Daredevil, but Bendis, Mark Waid, Ed Brubaker, freaking like If you just write Frank Miller, if you just write Daredevil, it just seems to be that. Like, it's just good. All right, we'll pull up Thread. All right. The way he looks at the camera is hilarious.
Superman.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like this is necessarily true. Like from watching the movies, it seems like he much prefers Batman to Superman. It's gonna be Wonder Woman, obviously.
You just asked me about my children. That's cool. Wonder Woman.
Cal. Rip Jason Momoa.
Letters. Lex.
Your version of Lex is so bad, dude. Why? Just say Harley. Yeah, Harley.
Oh, Cyborg.
Well, considering Marsh Manhunter doesn't ever do anything.
Barry Allen.
Even though your Barry is just a really bad version of Wally, though, dude. That's gonna be Darkseid, obviously. Why did they do Darkseid or Brainiac?
Darkseid.
That's like a weird, like, or question. Darkseid or Brainiac? Like, those two have, like, no correlation. It's weird.
Oh, Bing. Chris did him so... Chris grounded him. Maybe Chris could ground Mr. Freeze, but Chris got him real, and I like it.
I mean, he was cool until it turned out he was just a hand puppet for Talia and didn't do anything. It was pathetic and got beat. Up until then, he was really cool. That's so pathetic.
Oh, jeez. Black Adam.
Why did this guy censor Shazam? What? What?
Ooh, Two-Face. Oh, Jon Stewart.
Yeah, because he watched the anime movie.
Oh, Jon Stewart.
Yeah, Freeze ain't that crazy.
Dick. Oh, Dick.
Yeah, even though you killed Dick Grayson for no reason when you could have had it just be Jason like in the comics.
Martha Kent. Because it's just, I spent more time with Martha Kent.
Yeah, the other Martha Kent just got killed. Well, there's that. That one question was kind of weird. Like, no correlation. No, I haven't read Man-Bat. Last thing I remember from Man-Bat was like the beginning of Justice League Dark when they first launched that book, and Man-Bat had a part in that. But I don't think what else. I don't think there's too much else to talk about. But yes, oh yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier. Talk about that for a minute. Falcon Winter Soldier was okay. The action was cool. The two action scenes we got. So we got Falcon with a cool action scene in the beginning, and then we get like a Winter Soldier flashback, which is a really cool action scene. And then after that, the rest of the episode sucks. It's like really boring and there's nothing going on. We get Bucky taking out this old guy to dinner, and then going out on a date with some chick and then leaving her. And then we get Sam arguing with his family, and his sister just comes off as really annoying. Joss Whedon or W Big Sass. But, like, the part where his sister gets mad at him for making a life for himself is so dumb. She's like, "You left to join the Air Force. How dare you do that? That's, like, how dare you go make a life for yourself and earn a living and not just stay in your hometown and be stuck here?" It's like, what? And then she got mad at him for getting snapped away by Thanos. She's like, "You were gone for 5 years." It's like, yeah, he didn't have a choice in that part, you dumbass. Like, what? Oh my goodness. That like, his sister gets mad at him because they have like a seafood business and he's trying to save it, like get a loan and stuff to save it, and be like, she's like, "You weren't here, you didn't see what happened with mom and dad in the business and blah blah." And it's like, the dude didn't have a choice about getting snapped away by Thanos. And as far as him joining the Air Force, like, you're mad he made something of himself and didn't just stay stuck in his hometown working at the family business? Like, God, like, his sister was so annoying. Hopefully Zemo kills her. how it was Captain America. Oh, they make John Walker such a dick in this, 100%. They make John Walker like the most dislikable freaking dickhead in this show. I'm excited to see how they do it. It was funny though, because we didn't get any of like Falcon and Winter Soldier together in the first episode. Yeah, I would say that Fat Greedo's so small. I would say that yeah, you don't need to watch the first episode of Falcon Winter Soldier so far. Hopefully it gets better when they actually like team up. Falcon trying to save the bubblegum shrimp company. Thanks, Slasher. Falcon Winter Soldier completes rips off Nightwing Red Hood. I wouldn't say that. Be surprised. Well, 100% they're gonna make him racist. You know they are. You know they're gonna make John Walker like some racist dickhead. Then he might get the Steppenwolf's treatment at the end. Martian Manhunter could have. I wish Aquaman would have had like a bit more to do in the Snyder Cut. But that's the same thing with the Joss Whedon version. In Joss Whedon's version of Justice League, freaking Aquaman had like nothing to do. And same in Zack Snyder's cut, Aquaman's kind of just there. There's no really like, there's not much to him at all. Like they do that one little scene where Willem Dafoe was like, "Hey, here's some armor and your mom's trident. Go take responsibility," and that's like it. Like Flash and everyone else kind of get more fleshed out, but Aquaman's kind of like, he drinks and helps Norwegians. Aquaman! That's it. You know? Scenes of Manhunter munching on Oreos. We'll watch the final fight of their cut. Well, I'm kind of glad, because it would be... That's not a good way to introduce a hero, have him sitting on the sidelines watching other people fight and getting, you know, just eating. That probably makes some people not like Martian Manhunter. I'm just hoping that, I just really want, like, from all of this. The sad thing was, like, I was hoping with this we could maybe get Henry Cavill's Superman saved, but Henry Cavill's Superman didn't have, like, any time to shine because he's hardly in the movie at all. So it's like, damn it. One more Henry Cavill's Superman. Like... Are you talking about the Snyder Cut, or are you talking about the song choice in the actual Aquaman movie where it's Pitbull and Africa? That was great. From ocean to ocean. It's so dumb. It's great when they're like slow-mo coming out of the waves. Rain down in Africa. That was freaking great. Mortal Kombat and King Kong vs. Godzilla is going to be dope. I hope so. I'm going to go to the theater. Ian actually just got our tickets the other day. We're going to go to the theater to see King Kong vs. Godzilla. And then I'm really excited for Mortal Kombat as well. The trailers for Mortal Kombat have been great. The only problem is so far the Get Over Here was hella weak. Yeah, like Superman was good in the Snyder Cut. His problem was like he just wasn't in it much. I wish he was in it a bit more. I've seen some clips of Superman and Lois, but like I said earlier in the stream, I'm going to wait for the entire series to end, and then season. Once the first season ends, I'll watch all the episodes because I don't want to deal with week to week with that. Like, I'm just gonna wait for the season end. I have no clue how many episodes. I don't know if CW is still doing their huge like 25, 22 episodes or whatever. But I'll wait for that end. But from what I've seen with it, the budget actually looks good. Like the effects look good. It actually looks interesting. Like, so I'm excited. You're getting a glizzy, like... That is great, Spider-Man 2. I still love Spider-Man 2. Freaking... When he's just eating that hot dog while that dude's getting his ass beat in the alleyway, and Peter Parker's like, not my problem anymore. It's so good. How Superman comes back to his normal Clark Kent life. Oh, yeah, you mean the fact that, like, Clark Kent died in BVS, but Justice League just kind of back? Yeah. Also, like, I saw a behind the scenes mention from Snyder, like in an interview. Snyder was like, "Hey, I did the black suit because, you know, Superman needs to charge up faster, and that's why I had him go to the sun and wear the black suit and stuff." But in the movie, it's never explained. Like in the movie, for some bizarre reason, Clark's just like back in black. Like it doesn't make any sense. How's it going, Adam? Henry Cavill shooting The Witcher season 2 right now. Yeah, when the hell is that gonna happen? Feels like that first season came out an eternity ago. It's just 15 episodes. Well, that's good because CW shows I feel like go on forever. Henry Cavill did do a great job, but the problem is like it was so limited. I just want more Henry Cavill as Superman. Black Adam shooting right now. It's still weird that we're getting Black Adam. It's so funny that DC they're like, Dwayne Johnson's one of the biggest stars in Hollywood right now. We're gonna grab before Marvel can, and they just like freaking grabbed him. Like, hey, you want to be Black Adam? He's like, yeah. Like, okay, and they just got him. Hey, Purity. I did like the center cut, but no, I don't want more. I know it's kind of funny, but yeah, I actually really enjoyed the Snyder cut, but I don't want any more because the future of what he's gonna do to Superman looked awful, and I don't want any more of that. No, it's because Snyder's of the church of Lois is Superman's conscience, and it's like, hey, if if he doesn't have Lois, he just goes crazy because he just ate brain from Clark without Lois. It's not like he's saving people prior. No, in the interview, yeah, flying out of face for the sun was him. Yeah, that's the interview I was talking about. Yeah, in the interview, he said that there were 2 reasons why he chose the black suit. 1, because it was in the comics, it was in the Death Superman comics, and 2, to help him recharge faster. But in the movie, you wouldn't know that. Like, there's literally no reason in the movie. It's just like he just wears the black suit. Like, there's no thing saying, hey, this helps him charge up faster. Like, so in the movie, it like makes no sense. But I don't really care that much because it looks cool. That scene, like, it's so Superman. That scene, it was in the Joss cut as well, where he's in Metropolis and he's in his Clark Kent get up, and then he goes into the alleyway and opens a shirt for Superman. I'm like, just give me a movie of that, please. Get Christopher McQuarrie back, WB. Get Henry Cavill back, and just give me a Superman movie. Could you imagine a live-action Public Enemies movie of Superman and Batman, though? Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill? But without Jesse Eisenberg's Lex. Don't want that. Henry Cavill's Superman is going to stick around and fight Black Adam. Possibly because the Rock really likes Henry Cavill, and The Rock's ex-wife is both their managers. What about I'm fine with the black suit having a cape, but yeah, like the suit he wore in the comics when he returned. I think Black Adam will be the next. I think that will be the next villain for the Justice League, possibly. But I think they really want to turn Black Adam into their Loki. You know how Loki was used in the MCU, how he's like bad and then he's kind of like good, and he's like this sort of anti-hero. I think they want to turn Black Adam into that. Honestly, I think they're going to introduce him as like a bad guy first, and then they're going to like try to Loki-ize him and be like, hey, he's fighting with the good guys now, but he's kind of like morally gray. But the fight 2.0 is so good. Dude, that scene where he's walking through the ship and all the like quotes from his 2 fathers start playing from Man of Steel. It's like, and then the flight theme starts playing. It's so good. But ain't in the Joss cut, he has the color suit. Well, yeah, it's the same scene though. It's just the color suit of the suit's different. But I'm pretty sure like the same exact scenes in the Joss cut. Pelican Enemy's way better than Batman Superman. The Pelican Enemy's movies suck though. Disappointing. I made a whole video on that because the first like trade paperback I ever read was Superman Batman Public Enemies. And well, actually from DC Marvel. I think I read Star Wars collected editions prior to that. But the first like Marvel or DC collected edition like trade paperback I ever read was Superman Batman Public Enemies. And it's freaking amazing. And when I first read it, I was like, this would be such a cool movie. And then they made a god-awful animated movie that did not follow the source material at all. It was like, why? This was such a good, like, this would make such a good movie. It didn't come back with a mullet. I wish Superman came back with a mullet. I wish. I saw there was like some quote about that, I believe, from Snyder. I can't remember what he said. How do you feel about the Luthor Deathstroke scene? I felt like Deathstroke should have shot him in the face when he said good boy. That's how I feel about that scene. No, the Snyder Cut's not canon. But, like, freaking, we don't know really what's canon. That slow-mo increased the movie's runtime by, like... The movie probably would have had a normal runtime, like 2.5 hours if it weren't for all the slow-mo. But it's not technically canon because, like, in it, Mara talks about how her parents are dead, but in in the James Wan Aquaman movie, her father's there. So, the Flash movie might reset the DCU, most likely. Otherwise, what's the point of doing Flashpoint? If you're not, like, resetting some things, there's no point in doing Flashpoint, especially for the first movie. Like, they have to be doing that to try to reset things. Otherwise, why are you doing this? Like, come on. I hope Flash gets a better suit. I like the fact that Flash made his own suit. Like, you know, he's intelligent and can do that for himself. I like that. But I still think it looks like a really bad Power Ranger suit. I hope they give him, like, an actual good on-screen suit. Like, give Flash a good suit, because I don't like it. Because there was that cart. See you, Best Man Gamer. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate the like. Yeah, Mara did have a British accent. Danny brought it up earlier, talking about how apparently Snyder wanted everyone, all the royalty, to be British, because, you know, their accent is fancy. So, just that. But Snyder Cut was surprisingly good. Like, I thought it was going to be bad, but it was actually good. Like, I was happy. I was very surprised. And the pacing of it was done pretty well. Like, not a whole lot happens in the first hour other than Steppenwolf, like, killing some Amazons. But the pacing for the movie is pretty good. It didn't feel like a 4-hour movie, honestly. It didn't drain me like some other, like, 3-hour movies have. And this was, like, a cool event, like, how this was all set up with HBO Max. Like, this was literally the perfect storm. With freaking, with COVID and with the fans, like, dying for this, and with HBO Max launching and not really having anything exclusive to be a reason to get HBO Max. Like, it's a good service. Like, they have a lot of good movies on there. But as far as, like, here's what we have, this is why you need to get HBO Max, they didn't really have that. Like, if you didn't already have HBO, you know? Like, if you didn't have HBO, there was no, like, reason to be like, oh, yeah, but now it's HBO Max, I need to get it. I start at 2 a.m. Ooh, we start at 2 a.m. Oof. Rough. I've read some back issues of Warren Ellis's Moon Knight, but yeah, I need to get the trades. I wish they'd do an omnibus. I don't think they've done an omnibus for that. Jim Gordon is good for like the 2 seconds. Remember when he got freaking what's his name? What's the name of that freaking actor? I can't remember his name for some reason. But when he got shredded, he got ripped, and then he just didn't get to do anything as Commissioner Gordon. Yeah, Ruby, I like the Snyder Cut. I actually surprisingly thought it was pretty good. How Grant Morrison got to write the Flash movie, I have no clue either. They just chose, I don't know. Maybe he meshed with freaking, because he's kind of a weird guy. Maybe he meshed with Ezra Miller the best. I don't know, because Ezra Miller is super weird. So, that could be it. HBO Max is all DC animation on there. Cool, so they have like 5 good movies. Yeah, if not for code HBO Max, they would. Yeah, exactly. Like, it was literally the perfect storm of all that stuff combining that they got it done. I'm happy. Like, this was a cool event. Like, everyone on my timeline was talking about it. Like, people putting aside time to, like, watch it for 4 hours. It was a cool event. Now, that being said, I don't know if I'm ever going to watch this movie again. Like, as much as I enjoyed it, I don't know if I'm ever, like, I'm probably never going to watch the Snyder Cut again. I'll watch clips of it, but I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. There is an eyes? Okay. He got shredded for one scene. Yeah, one scene where he's wearing a big-ass coat. Poor J.K. Simmons. Pumped all that iron just for that. I don't like Ezra Miller as Barry either. I think he's terrible casting. And how quippy they make him. So. But we're stuck with him for some reason. Even though he chokeslammed that woman. I was hoping that would get him out of there, but nope. Could you imagine if, like, at the end of Flashpoint, just Barry's just a different actor? They just replace him at the end of Flashpoint. Like, he goes, he does the whole time thing, and then, like, there's smoke and he comes out, and it's just, like, someone else. It's like, oh, Barry, you look different. It's like, yeah. That's really gone. Yeah, it's a really big commitment for a rewatch. 4 hours is a long time. I have not watched Crisis on Infinite Earths for CW Arrowverse. It looked awful. So the anime movies are leaving. Why? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. I hope they make J. Jonah Jameson actual J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man movies, because I don't like the whole Alex Jones take. Because, like, the whole thing with the Daily Bugle is they're supposed to be, like, a somewhat reputable, like, newspaper outlet, and the one thing they go crazy on is Spider-Man. But everything else, like, they're kind of good at. And, like, they're supposed to be a place that Peter kind of, like, wants to work for. I don't see Peter ever being like, yeah, InfoWars, I want to work there, you know? Like, I didn't like the Alex Jones take. Like, it was cool to see him at the end of Far From Home, but, like, what they did, I was like, that's not J. Jonah Jameson. Like, I don't know. I hope No Way Home's good. Man, if we get Matt Murdock in there, if we get Daredevil, I've been rewatching some Daredevil stuff, and it makes me miss the show so much. I've been rewatching clips. I'm attempted just to get a month of Netflix again, just to binge all 3 seasons, because Daredevil's so freaking good. Dude, if they got actual Alex Jones in the MCU, freaking amazing. It'd be hilarious. Could you imagine that? Who could he have him play a Rhino? That'd be amazing. Darkseid looked kind of cool, but like he didn't really do anything. He was like in the movie 2 seconds. What was the worst Daredevil Netflix season? I don't know. I liked, off of memory, I know I like the season that most people like the least, which was 2. 2 was my favorite. Because I just loved, like, the balance of Daredevil and Punisher and, like, their story. Oh, so good. But all 3 seasons are great. I don't know which one is the worst. Maybe one's the least good, but it's still amazing. Yeah, Batman's great in the animated series. Too bad Superman in the animated series is terrible. Yeah, they recast Daredevil and Fist. That'd be such a waste. Charlie Cox is so good. Vincent D'Onofrio is amazing. Like, Alex Jones could be the new Juggernaut. MCU JJ has some hair again. I don't think so. I think they're just gonna stick with actual J.K. Simmons. You know, just bald. Lois died and CW Crisis unfortunately didn't go crazy. How's she back then? I don't know. Dude, Alex Jones would make, like, he would have made Far From Home an actual good movie. How's Cass Walking? Cass Walking is actually good. Like, the first half's really good, and then it kind of slows down once they get to this one village. But it's actually really good, and, like, Tom Holland is fantastic at, like, playing a likable character. Like, he's just really good at that. Like, Tom Holland has, like, his niche of, like, playing that type of character, and he does it in Chaos Walking. He's great. Like, he's really good. Daisy Ridley's good in it as well. But Tom Holland carries that movie. And it's pretty good. Like, I recommend it. Like, if you're interested in it, it's actually pretty good. It was better than, like, the critic reviews were saying. It was actually fun. It was a good movie. I liked it. And it was cool being back at the theater. Like, it was so nice being back at the theater. It's interesting, though, because, like, once you got one row, because we're in Washington's in, like, stage 2 or something, I think the area I'm at. And I think we're about to get to, like, stage 3 where, like, more capacity people can get in, but we're at, like, stage 2 right now. And so, like, once you reserve one row, no one's allowed to be in that. Like, once you get a seat in one row, so we had, like, that entire row to ourselves. It felt like there was no one else in the theater, even though there were. There were, like, people in every row. But, like, for instance, if you bought one ticket in one row, that's it. No one else is allowed to be on that row. But it was nice. Yeah, popcorn, Coke Icy. Oh, I want a Coke Icy so bad right now. Tiny Megaphone narrating all the MCU. Oh, man, that'd be amazing for the next Avengers. Make him the new Watcher. Make him the new Stan. Like, you know, Stanley had all his cameos. Now we just get Alex Jones cameos in the MCU. He just shows up randomly. That'd be amazing. Oh, man. That'd be fantastic. Never happened, but it'd be hilarious. And more picture of Spider-Man. But the next movie I think I'm going to see is, in theaters, is Godzilla vs. King Kong. Even though it's on HBO Max, like, gotta see that movie on the big screen. Like, freaking monkey punch lizard, gotta see that on the big screen. Yeah, Daisy really is a good actress. I don't think it'll be hindered because of the sequels. I don't think so. I think she'll still get work and be fine, but we'll see. And if not, she's made more than enough money to be fine. Like, you know, like she's got. So but I do, but I think she'll still be able to get other roles for the What If show. I hate the animation on the What If show. Like, I just don't like the art style. But cause some of the stuff looks interesting, but I do not like the art style for it. Monk versus Lizard. There's still the thing that pisses me off the most about the trailer is the part where Godzilla shoots his beam at King Kong. King Kong blocks it and then puts the thing that he's blocking with over his head, and Godzilla continues to whiff like a mile over his head with his mouth laser, with his freaking what's it called, atomic breath or whatever, atomic laser. I can't remember like what the thing. But freaking like he whiffs so hard. It's like, why is Godzilla that dumb? Just aim lower. He's like, oh no, I'm shooting 20 feet above his head. If only I could adjust by just moving my face. I haven't talked to Slick Muff in a fat minute now. If only it's to watch the new What If series. Do you like King Kong Skull Island? King Kong Skull Island was kind of like dumb fun. Like, there's not much to it. Like, it's not like a great movie or anything, but it was fun. It had some good action. The characters are not too great. The best scene was when they're all when they're fighting like the freaking flying small things and like they're slow-mo, like chopping them up. That was like one of the best parts of that movie. You like Far From Home? I can't stand Far From Home. I love Homecoming, but Far From Home, not my cup of tea. But King Kong Godzilla actors up for Oscars. But I think that's going to be about it for the stream. Stream for about an hour and a half. Talk about some comics. But so basically what I'm saying for the stream is read Nightwing issue 78 if you haven't. It's amazing. It's fantastic. If you're a Nightwing fan or if you're just a fan of good comics, read it. It's definitely worth it. Yeah, Loki's in the movie. Tom Hiddleston's one of the main characters. Him and Brie Larson. And the characters in the movie are kind of whatever. There's like not much to them. But I mean, you're there for King Kong character. Yes, there's a Snake Eyes movie that was supposed to be coming out this year. Don't know if it still is, starring Henry Golding. So we'll see.
Did you tell about Wonder Woman slaughtering all those people at the start of the Snyder Cut?
No.
Oh.
So, yeah. But basically, there's one thing you get from the stream. It's reading Nightwing number 78. It's a fantastic issue and well worth your money. I would say Brie Larson was horrible. I mean, I thought she was fine. The writing for her character was whatever. I thought her acting she was fine, but the character was just meh. But that's like every character in that movie. There's like not much to it. Besides John C. Reilly's character, I liked, but everyone else was whatever. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will have a podcast on the Snyder Cut coming out sometime soon. So link it in the description if you want to check out my podcast on Podbean, Spotify, and iTunes. I might be streaming on Twitch later today, like in a bit. Might be playing some Warzone with the boys. We'll see. I generally stream that. I don't know if we're getting a G.I. Joe 3, but we are getting a Snake Eyes separate movie. I don't think we're getting a G.I. Joe 3 because like they're doing a whole reboot. Yes, just read Nightwing. But yeah, link in the description to my Twitch if you want to watch me stream there. But again, I think I'm going to be streaming Warzone with the boys later tonight. So yeah, if you liked the Battlefront videos from back in the day, it's that, but we're playing Warzone. So yeah, but hope you guys had fun on the stream. I had fun talking to you guys, and I'll see you guys later.